Thank you for staying with us. The decision by OPEC and Russia to temporarily freeze its output at January doesn't necessarily equate to an automatic rise in the price of oil, nor would it immediately stimulate energy markets to rise. The knock-on effect in Trinidad and Tobago, though, is a good thing, albeit minimal, since the gas-based economy and its structure needs more urgent attention. Our Inside Business reporter Roger Dwarika spoke with the Energy Chamber's Dr. Thackwray Driver.
It's one of those deals that is welcome, but one that's being viewed cautiously by world energy markets, and on the face of it comes with caveats. On Tuesday morning, the markets learned of a behind-the-door secret deal that will see the world's largest crude producers, Saudi Arabia and Russia, agree to freeze output at January 2016 levels. Initially, many analysts had expected a cut output, following last Friday's rally, which saw prices rise by 0.75%. However, here's the fine print. Russia says its freeze is conditional on other producers agreeing, like Venezuela, said to have the world's second largest oil reserves, Qatar and, of course, the newly re-welcomed big player Iran. So, how does this deal translate locally, if at all? Here's the Energy Chamber's take.
An increase in oil prices, that's good news for Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't think we should hold out too much hope is going to create any large change and that we're going to see prices shooting back up as a result of this. I don't see these changes really having much of an impact. I think that the structural issues which we have to get right in the Trinidad and Tobago economy, we need to concentrate on those rather than looking on sort of day-to-day movements on oil price.
There's more fly in the ointment of this oil deal, though. OPEC, the oil cartel of which Russia is not a member, cannot seem to agree on supply levels, making it hard to imagine grandiose output promises being kept. According to the International Energy Agency, Saudi Arabia pumped 10.2 million barrels a day in January, nearly 3% below the most recent peak of 10.5 million barrels a day last June. There are three key concerns here, though. One, Iran, which is seeking to regain market share after the lifting of oil sanctions. Two, Saudi Arabia, which has maintained a policy of maximizing market share since late 2014. And third is demand, which was healthy in 2015, pushing 1.6 million barrels a day then, but which the IEA projects will touch 1.2 million in 2016.
What you're seeing is that a few of the OPEC players, plus Russia, have sort of made a statement to show that they're working together. But, there's other OPEC players, in particular Iran, are committed to increasing their production. With the end of sanctions, they began now to export oil to Europe for the first time in a very long time. And I think that Trinidad and Tobago needs to not suddenly think that things are going to get better because of oil price changes. Also remember that our economy is based upon gas, not upon oil. So it's more important what's happening with global gas prices.
Figuring in this equation is the U.S. shale gas, which, according to global energy analysts, if production from OPEC and Russia start pushing above 1.2 million barrels a day by mid-June, the U.S. can flood the market with its own unlimited and uncontrolled supply of oil.
The moment the U.S. starts exporting gas, which should be from Sabine Pass LNG in 2017, you will see it will have a bearing on the domestic market. The domestic price will sort of see an uptick, not a complete spike, but it's supply and demand. The moment you say we are catering to the world and not just the domestic market, you will see that U.S. gas prices, domestic gas prices will go up.
The global energy market is changing daily, and the truth is no one knows whether the all-important barrier for oil will be reached by mid or third quarter of 2016, if at all. Roger Dwarika, See Inside Business.